You believe the universe is eternal. You are wrong. Every photon that reaches your eye tonight is a death rattle. The stars you see are not permanent landmarks. They are funeral pyres consuming themselves in real time. Your sun converts 4 million tons of matter into energy every second. This is not free. This is theft from a finite account. The universe operates on a fuel tank, and that tank has been draining since the first star ignited 13 billion years ago. We live in what cosmologists call the Stelliferous Era, the age when stars burn. It feels infinite because a human lifetime is 80 years and a star lives for trillions. But on the cosmic calendar, we are standing in the first second of January. The rest of the year is darkness. The second law of thermodynamics does not negotiate. Entropy increases. Order becomes chaos. Energy spreads. Heat dissipates. Every star that shines accelerates the universe toward a state where nothing can shine again. Stars are not eternal monuments. They are burning matches, and we are watching the last few centimeters of wood turn to ash. 100 trillion years from now, the universe stops making stars. The last nebula collapses. The final stellar nursery closes. What remains are the runts, the dim red dwarfs that burn so slowly they could theoretically survive for 10 trillion years. They are the universe running on battery backup. These stars are pathetic. They emit less light than a candle compared to the infernos that came before. But they are all that stands between the cosmos and absolute darkness. Civilizations, if any exist, will crowd around these dying embers like refugees around a campfire in winter. Imagine the astronomer who witnesses the last star die. They watch the final flicker. The last photon travels outward into nothing. And then, for the first time in 100 trillion years, the universe goes completely black. No exceptions. No emergency lighting, total night. That moment, when the last star exhales its final breath, marks the end of an era. The universe does not explode. It does not collapse. It simply stops glowing. What comes next is not a quick death. It is a trillion year decay. The universe becomes a graveyard where even the headstones crumble. Welcome to the Degenerate Era, the age when matter exists but does not shine. White dwarfs, neutron stars, black holes. These are the corpses. They orbit nothing. They illuminate nothing. Now, they simply exist, locked in a cosmic morgue where temperature has dropped to a few degrees above absolute zero. 5. A white dwarf is a stellar ember compressed to the density of 1,000,000 Earths per cubic meter. It no longer fuses atoms. It simply radiates away residual heat over time scales that dwarf the current age of the universe. These objects will outlast every human thought, every biological structure, every planetary system, but they will not outlast physics. The protons in your body feel permanent. They are not. Current theory suggests protons decay with a half-life of 10 to the 14th years. This number is obscene. If you started with a kilogram of matter at the beginning of the universe, you would still have 999 grams today. But given enough time, every atom disintegrates. Watch a white dwarf die the true death. Its protons decay one by one. The star does not explode. It evaporates. A trillion years from now, the white dwarf you see is no longer a sphere. It is a cloud of photons and leptons expanding into the void. Matter has lost. When the last proton decays, chemistry ends. Biology was already impossible for eons. Now physics itself becomes boring. No atoms, no molecules, only loose radiation spreading thinner and thinner across a space that never stops expanding. Black holes are the final survivors. After stars die, after protons decay, these gravitational monsters remain. They consume light, they bend space, they seem immortal. But Stephen Hawking discovered their fatal flaw. They leak. At the event horizon, quantum mechanics stages a rebellion. Virtual particles blink into existence. One falls past the point of no return. The other escapes as radiation. This process is so slow that a solar mass black hole would take 10 to the 67th years to evaporate. But the universe has nothing but time. As a black hole loses mass, it shrinks. As it shrinks, its temperature rises. As temperature rises, evaporation accelerates. The process is a runaway train. A black hole that has been sitting dormant for a googol years will spend its final second screaming radiation into the void at temperatures that would vaporize stars. Imagine the last black hole. It has a mass of 100 billion suns. It formed when galaxies were still colliding. It has existed longer than human language has words to describe. And now, in the year 10 to the 100th, it begins its death. The final evaporation of a supermassive black hole releases more energy than a trillion supernovae. For one brief, violent moment, the universe lights up again, a flash of defiance, a scream into the void, and then silence. Permanent silence. This is heat death. The universe has reached maximum entropy. Temperature is uniform. Energy is spread so thin that no work can be performed. No structure can form. No information can be processed. Physics has achieved perfect equilibrium, and equilibrium is another word for death. What remains are photons, stretched to wavelengths longer than the observable universe. Neutrinos separated by voids, so vast that they will never interact again. Particles exist, but they might as well not. The density of matter is effectively zero. The temperature is effectively zero. If nothing changes, does time have meaning? Physicists debate whether time still flows in a maximum entropy state. There are no clocks, no decay, no events to mark befores and after. The universe may continue to exist, but it no longer happens. You exist in a universe that is 13.8 billion years old. Stars still burn, planets still orbit, life still evolves. This window of complexity, this narrow slice of cosmic history, where structure is possible, represents less than 1/1,000,000th of 1% of the universe's total timeline. You are standing in the last second before midnight. Every moment you experience is an act of defiance against entropy. Your body maintains order by consuming energy. Your thoughts create patterns in chaos. You are a temporary eddy in a river flowing towards stillness. I understand, MF. This makes your existence not tragic. It makes it precious. The universe will forget you. That is why you must live as if this moment is the only moment that will ever matter. Because in the architecture of eternity, it is.